Hey guys, hope you're doing great. Welcome to Model Magics. Today we're going to talk about Gemini tree and how to code a page for Shopify. Because yes, you can do that super easily. What you're seeing right now, it took me exactly 1 day from the ID, the conception, the visuals, and everything to code and to go live. So now you can build something like super complex, like a bundle builder, so people can go in, choose the quantity, and everything's gonna move in. You can see right there like that. So there's even like some gift, free bags, and all this kind of thing. You add to bundle, there's even like a subscription. So when you add to cart, automatically you're gonna see everything is there, all the price, the discounts, the free gift, and all this kind of thing. So this is pretty crazy what you can do with Gemini tree. And I'm going to show you actually the concept and how I got to that from a simple inspiration from a website. So here is, let's go in my Canva. So you can see I went to JV. JV are known for super high conversion rate, very aggressive on the web for their concentrate of coffee. They're doing a great job. I know those guys for many years, and I've always admired how they structure and understand the conversion optimization of each of their products to increase also their AOV. So based on that, I took a screenshot of their website, and I went into Gemini and I just asked exactly like this. Like, this is my first prompt, very simple. And it came back and it gave me a mock-up of how it would look like actually, you see? So very similar, but with my branding. For sure, it was not on brand, so I had to redo that. But the whole concept was there, the products to be added, all this kind of thing. So we were on a good pace to do something good. Then what I said to Gemini, okay, based on my branding, my screenshot, can you create something like that? And actually, it came back and even like better. I mean, it redid the whole bags and everything and added that here with the concept you've seen. And then I've asked the Gemini to start coding, and then I got that final version here that I've shown you. No, now that is one thing. I've really simplified the whole process. But if we go into my Gemini here, we have like 3 different prompt projects, a lot of stuff you can see here. Like I started from there, and I mean, there's a lot of codes and all this kind of thing. I mean, we can go down here. There was a lot of stuff. So now the reason we had to go through all of this is at first, it's going to create a scheme that is very simple. You will need also to define the logic. You will need also to define the theme you're using. It's very helpful for Gemini to know which theme. So we are using Impact theme from Maestro, very good theme. And based on that, we told them that we are using like that theme, and we need to build accordingly to their structure. And then also we had to do some sort of logic change because we're not using a product page, we're using a page actually. And the logic is very different. And why we did that is because we had multiple different SKU. So with the product page, it would have probably conflict at certain point. And using a normal page and bringing those IDs into that page, that simplified a lot. Now, the other thing also that we came through is at certain point, the file was too big. So which means it was one line of code for the section because it created actually a section in Shopify. And if I can show you here, yeah, so you're going to see here, it's a page called bundle, and here it's a section. And there's also a section for the feature benefit that I've created. There's a FAQ, but actually at first it was one section with one file with all the code. So I had to come back and ask to refactoring actually the whole bundle file to create separate files. So it's going to be easier for us to update. So we don't have to update the full script, because what happened at a certain point is we started iterating and we started like getting errors because it was not keeping the whole code all the time. And I found out that it was changing and not getting tied to that. So I said, okay, let's take the last version of the section and let's break it down into multiple files with the right structure. So it's going to be easier, let's say, to just update the CSS, update some control files, some GS, or even like the theme structure. So that helped, and that helped us to get less error and even no errors at the end. So that's really one of the way to think about coding. And it's not my first project. I will share another project that I'm doing right now with AI Studio. Is you have to go through each of steps individually. You start with the big picture, then you break down each of those steps, and you go along the way. So let's say if you see that there's a logic that is not working, let's say on the uh, uh, on the um, on the quantity, let's say, you have to focus on that and fix that first. So far, it's very hard to fix multiple errors at the same time without breaking the files. So one thing I like to do is, let's say there's 2 errors in CSS. That's going to be very easy to manage by Gemini. But if you have like 2 errors in the CSS, 1 error in the GS, 1 error in the liquid, it's going to be hard for it to do a proper clean job. So it's always good to do one work or at a time, to do one cleanup at a time, or to do even like one kind of function at a time. Same thing here. So we're using Recharge. So people are going to ask, hey, how did you use a third-party app? It was super simple because it seems that Gemini and other also, like I've tried that as well with GPT, and it seems that it understands the logic behind the subscription. And since now Shopify has their subscription tied internally, it's easier. So when we started, it was every 3 weeks by default because that's the default of our subscription. And I said, no, I mean, that's not working. Let me ask something. Can you switch it to 4 weeks? And it did that without any issue. It found the right every 4 weeks that we have in the products, and it did well right away. I would say that it's quite insane what it can do. I have also to remove like some features. There was like a total that was at the bottom here showing the pricing, I think a bit like on JV. I had to remove that because there was discrepancy of cents between when it showed here and in the cart. And I found out that that could be a distraction for the user. And it was just battling about rounding. And I didn't want like to take 2 to 4 more hours to debug like rounding. So I decided just to remove that. But I don't think it's a deal breaker for users. The thing is, everything works. And like, again, like at the beginning, like we had like some issues with finding like the right variance. Sometimes it was taking like 2 pounds and there was no ground. So I just asked, just make sure you use 12 ounce or 300 grams of coffee. Make sure you have both variants for whole bean and ground, and it worked almost instantly. So I've coded everything. Sorry, I vibe coded everything in one day. I was doing like some tweaks this morning, just adding like some pills, but here you go. It's fully functional. It goes through the checkout. Everything works great. So I mean, just enjoy there. Have fun. Like, go like grab some IDs from other websites. Try to replicate that as an example of how you can vibe code things. And I'm gonna say that Shopify so far to have done like other jobs with vibe coding is so easy compared to another project I will share later on that I'm building, which is much more complex. But it show you how you can build a very small project that normally will take weeks to do in a couple of hours. And the other thing also is, I think you don't need any more page builder apps. I mean, that's going to be my next work is remove all page builder apps that I have, build everything natively, and eventually maybe building our own theme from scratch using like probably Dawn or another like base and rebuild everything from scratch. So like that, we'll have like total control of every modules, everything on a website. I mean, we're in a time that it's just insane what you can do. So enjoy and have fun, and let me know if you have projects like that, and if you have like some issues, comment in the comment box, and I will be happy to help you there. Ciao, guys.